And Phil has set up inclusive music, is that right, Phil?
It is, yes.
Yes, which I know he'll tell you more about. And you seem to have many hats and many skills, which I know you will tell more people about during the session. And I think I'm going to stop talking and let you.
Thank you. So, yeah, we've been doing some music technology stuff with the music service for a while, but with Phil being in Cornwall as well, he's got a lot of resources to help get started with music technology, which he's going to show us. And we're quite excited because from September we're going to be having First Access Music Technology, which the Hub, Music Education Hub, will pay for free. So we're getting all the details sorted out, but what it's going to look like is a year-long project where there'll be a music specialist who will come and work with you for 10 weeks as with other instruments, and then there will be a license for Phil's online training resources, which means that you'll be able to carry on for the rest of the year doing music tech with a bit of support from some training sessions along the way. So it's kind of a longer term thing than just having a one-term project as First Access is at the minute. So we're quite excited about that. So if you want to have any more information about that, do feel free to get in touch, and my email address is on the flyer. So just to get a kind of sense of what you've been up to, can we kind of have a show of hands as to, I know people who like music tech, people who don't, people who use it, people who don't. Can we have a show of hands as to how many people might say use iPads or other music things in schools? Yeah, okay, thank you. People who may be not so confident and might need a bit of help getting started? Yeah, okay. So this session is kind of for the whole range, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I guess the music tech, one of the things is that there's lots of flashing lights, buttons to press, which is all very exciting, but sometimes can lead to the idea that it's about playing with toys. And don't get me wrong, I love playing with toys, musical toys. And kids do too. But it's also a way of teaching the music fundamentals. So you can learn as much about harmony, composition, melody, songwriting, and performance skills as well. Playing in time as an ensemble. You can learn all this with music technology. And personally, my training is as a classical pianist, but I use a lot of music tech, including with special needs kids, and I find that actually it can be a really good way in for a lot of kids. It can provide a tool for some kids who, for whatever reason, aren't in the right frame of mind to learn an instrument, and it can get them into music. And then sometimes you find that actually they start learning an instrument. They might be playing guitar on GarageBand, and then think, well, I'd like to have a go on a real guitar as well. But nonetheless, like I say, these are real instruments. If you think about the music that we hear in the media, TV, film, there's no music really that doesn't have some element of music technology, whether it's studio recording or whether it's people writing symphonic sounding music with music technology. So this is a kind of foundation really to say that yeah, you can have a music career using music technology. It's valid as a legitimate thing, but it's also a way in, which is perhaps why the word inclusive is something that is my heart that's there as well.
Yeah.
So maybe we can kind of look at ways of doing cross-curricular things with this course as well. No reason why you can't tie it in with other curriculum topics. Use poetry, art, things that the kids are doing, and use music technology as a way to make that more engaging for them. So I think that's enough from me. So yeah, can you give us a bit of background about where you've come from and how you got here?
Yeah, sure. So first of all, I'm a musical failure. I don't mind admitting that now. And by that I mean at school I tried the piano, failed, guitar, failed, and flute. Tragically failed. But I knew I was musical, and I was always looking for that inroads. And I couldn't get it because in those days, way back, it was notation that kept tripping me up. I didn't get it. I couldn't crack the code. So I'm very grateful for my mum. God bless her. She bought me this, the Casio VL Tone. And I can honestly say, it sounds like this. Oh yeah, that changed my life. And I mean that absolutely literally. Because suddenly I could, with my small tiny fingers, start playing the keyboard, record it, and play it back. And so I had the first expression of the music within me, and it was coming out, and I had it in a state I could use it. So after that, it was, keyboards, samplers, synths, drum machines, computers when they came in. And I've actually had a sort of 38-year career in music education. I still can't read music. I still have no musical qualifications. But I'm passionate about music, and I'm passionate about inclusion and accessibility. And what my mission has become is to get this technology into schools, because the kids will love it and they will run with it, as you probably suspect. I think it's often the teachers that are a little bit wary of this. And so the resources and the things you're going to see today are based on this idea of the teachers being a little bit, let's say, skeptical or nervous, fearful maybe that the kids know more, but they still want to get into it, but not sure why. And I've geared everything I do to this idea that you can do it. You can absolutely do it, or you can facilitate it and let the kids do it, because they're going to be the experts. And as was chatting with Steve earlier, I can go to schools and there's kids showing me what to do, and something I didn't know. So that's the way it is. The young people, they live and breathe technology, and if they get hold of it, they can produce incredible things. So, without further ado, what I thought I'd show you first of all is something of the Academy, because I want to get you into this idea that you can have this for free in schools, in your school, to start launching projects in September. And you don't have to be an expert, you don't have to be a music specialist, you just have to be able to press play and then sit back and learn with the kids. How's that sound? Okay. So this is the Inclusive Music Academy, which is literally hundreds and hundreds of resources, most of them video tutorials, taking kids and teachers step by step through the process of different projects. And it's things like 12-bar blues, composition, theme and variation, lots of different things. So here's getting inside the platform. And as you can see here, we've got lots of different projects. Hello GarageBand, we're going to have a look at Chinese music, hip hop. You don't have to worry about any of this, because it's all taken care of with things like lesson plans, downloads. We've done the work for you, so that literally all you have to do is press play.
Hi, I'm Phil Heeley. Welcome to the Inclusive Music Academy. In this short introductory video, I'll be showing you around and explaining how easy it is to be making music with your students in a matter of minutes. Don't worry if you're not a music specialist or if you don't feel very confident using technology. These resources have been made with a busy teacher in mind. You won't have to spend hours of your own time in the evening or at weekends to learn how to deliver these projects. A 5-minute exploration of the introduction, overview and lesson plan is all you need to get going. Just press play on the video and let the experts take over. Generally speaking, there's a short introduction and then straight into the actual step-by-step video tutorial. Are you ready to start your musical journey using technology? Click on the Start Learning button and let's have a quick look around. When we get inside the Academy, we can see on the left-hand side the various projects available. Scroll down to see all the different resources. To access a project, simply click on it. Most projects consist of an introduction, an overview, lesson plans, videos, and worksheets. So to get a quick idea about the project, click on the introduction. For more details, click on the overview. Now you see the various elements contained within it. Here, for example, you can see different lesson titles, the curriculum focus, lesson objectives, and additional resources. For more details, click on the lesson plan. For each lesson, you will see the objectives, the overview, learning outcomes, key vocabulary, and assessment themes. Moving down, you can see warm-ups, the main focus of the lesson, and the tasks students will engage with, and finally, plenary, discussion, and extension exercises. Once the lesson is finished, go to the bottom right corner and click Next. Here you'll see a graphic representation of what has been completed. This is useful when you return to the Academy, as you can see exactly where you got up to in the previous lesson. In the project Hello GarageBand, you can see that there are 23 elements to the project, and those that have been ticked are the ones that have been covered so far. Let's click on a video and have a quick look.
My name is Ben, and this is our Hello GarageBand project. Hello. Over the next 8 sessions, we're going to use the GarageBand app on iPad to create 2 compositions. The first one using the inbuilt loops on GarageBand, and the second one using the virtual instruments on GarageBand. Every human has music inside of them, and this project helps you get the music inside you out into the world, even if you don't play a musical instrument. Though if you do play an instrument, it will make things a bit easier. However, the most important things are your ability to be creative, your ability to listen to your work and evaluate and improve it, and your willingness to take musical risks. Most of the really great advancements in music have come from musical risk-taking, and so don't be afraid to push barriers and believe in what you are doing. Each session starts with a warm-up, and then I'll guide you through the compositional process on the iPad, with gaps for you to do each step yourself. Everyone works at different speeds, so take your time, but if you finish early, there's an extension exercise in each lesson, so you can add extra elements to your composition. Are you ready? Let's go.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is just have a look at one of these exercises, and then we're going to have a go on the iPad. Has anyone got an iPad with them? If you want to get open GarageBand, please by all means do. See if it works, see if you can follow what we're doing here. If you don't have an iPad, do not worry. I'm going to invite a few people up here to actually have a go if you've never had a go before. If you haven't got iPads in your schools, don't worry. We're looking at other ways to use this type of resource with completely free software. I'm going to come on to that in a minute. But I do think, when I saw the iPad, I was dead against Apple and everything about it. When I saw GarageBand on the iPad, I went out and bought one next day because I just thought it was such an incredible tool, and it's the nearest thing that we've come to actually playing a virtual instrument. So I'm really excited about that. And this is what I mean by actually literally pressing play and then pressing pause when you want the kids to actually have a go at their task.
My name is Ben, and this is our Hello GarageBand project. Hello. Over the next 8 sessions, we're going to use the GarageBand app on iPad to create 2 compositions. The first one using the inbuilt loops on GarageBand, and the second one using the virtual instruments on GarageBand. Every human has music inside of them, and this project helps you get the music inside you out into the world, even if you don't play a musical instrument. Though if you do play an instrument, it will make things a bit easier. However, the most important things are your ability to be creative, your ability to listen to your work and evaluate and improve it, and your willingness to take musical risks. Most of the really great advancements in music have come from musical risk-taking, and so don't be afraid to push barriers and believe in what you are doing. Each session starts with a warm-up, and then I'll guide you through the compositional process on the iPad, with gaps for you to do each step yourself. Everyone works at different speeds, so take your time, but if you finish early, there's an extension exercise in each lesson, so you can add extra elements to your composition. Are you ready? Let's go. Okay, so let's start by finding the GarageBand icon, clicking on it, and then creating a new song. The top left-hand corner plus to create a new song. And you can see we're in the live loops section here. So you can choose any one of these fantastic live loop sets. I'm going to choose house. And you can see we've got a list of instruments down the side and lots of blue and yellow and green squares. These are cells. I can turn them on by tapping on them and tap on them again to stop. Now some of them are 1 bar long, like that one, but some of them are 2 bars long or 4 bars long. Here's a 4 bar long one. You saw there that the shorter loop moved around faster and the longer loop cycled around more slowly. You'll also notice that the loops don't stop immediately when I press the button, they wait till the end of the bar they're playing. This is designed to allow the music to flow more between loops. It's good practice to stop loops when they're in the final quarter of their cycle so they complete the whole cycle before moving on to the next one, like this. I can also trigger whole sets of loops by pressing the little arrow above the number. And you can turn them off like that. So your first task is to practice moving between loops, making sure that each one completes before the next one starts. You have 5 minutes to explore.
Okay, I'm going to pause that there. How does that sound so far? Do you think people can deal with that? Okay, well let's try it. Here we go. GarageBand. And here's the live loops. Has anybody used this, by the way? Yeah. Fantastic. Now, live loops isn't on the older GarageBand, iPad versions, but there's still plenty of projects that you can use that don't use live loops. So this is just one of the latest things. And I think this is a great way to get kids into it because it's so simple. And I've got no problem with simplicity. I think accessibility is fantastic. I think success is really important in music as well. So an instant feeling of success with something that you're doing, I'm absolutely up for that because that encourages you to take the next step. So because we saw house, I'm going to choose house here, and we're just going to probably do that lesson. And you'll see exactly what Ben was doing, tapping on any of these. And the next one underneath it. But now I can just press any ones I want. So I'm going to stop that. I'd like someone to just come up and have a play, literally pressing with your finger, bringing things in, taking them out. It can't go wrong. You're going to sound amazing. Can I have a volunteer, please? I'm going to have to pick on someone if I don't. I know this is out of your comfort zone, quite possibly. It doesn't matter.
Lucy would love to.
Thank you. Give this man a round of applause, please. Here we go. What's your name? Nick. Right, pump it up. The question you need to ask is, could kids do this in your class? Do you think kids are going to get on board that and think, this is amazing?
Yeah. I've never seen children trying to talk.
Yeah.
But what might happen if you get somebody, a small child who doesn't really know what they're doing? What problems?
What's the worst that could happen?
What problems might they face? That's what I'm trying to. Is it all so easy that anybody can do that?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Where's the challenge?
This is the first step, isn't it? On 1,000 steps. So, but the challenge, I would say, even at this point, is to get the pulse and bring in the next loop on beat one. So that would be my first challenge. But first, I'd let kids play. Literally, sand them all to play. Just have a go, and I think they'll enjoy it. They get into it. Then, please do.
The thing I find, particularly working with special needs kids or the younger ones, what they tend to do is this. Does it sound dodgy? I'm just pressing any random button that still sounds good. So the task then is to say, okay, you've got to choose which one you're going to do. So you kind of adapt it to suit where they're up to in their development. And it's very flexible, so you can have quite complicated tasks, and you can have very simple ones like stop and go.
Within the resources, we go through that step-by-step process. And even the kids who can get it straight away, I would then say, right, we'll differentiate, and we'll give them a task which is much more advanced. But I think you're right to ask the question, it's just too easy. But for me, that's the beauty of it. There's so much it can do. But I love the idea of being easy, first of all, stabilisers on your bike to encourage you to go to the next step.
And you can play. You can play other instruments over the top of it, of course, as well, can't you?
Yeah.
So you could do pretty much what we're just doing in there, but over the top of these loops.
That's what we're going to do now.
I know when Drew came to our school, he did 10 weeks, and they didn't start it from that element. They started it from other things, but the children in my class were working on it, looking like the actual where you got from all the instruments.
Yeah,
and they were cutting things out and putting things in, and it was much. Obviously, they're year 6, so you're coming at it from a lower angle, but it was a much more complex thing going on, and there was loads of volume changes and all kinds of things going on.
And we were chatting earlier, and I think we think this could go up to GCSE easily, because just in GarageBand there's just so much incredible stuff.
I guess that's just a starter.
Yeah. So I wanted to start you off with that, but I want to go straight on to something which is the next step up, if you like, or perhaps a couple of steps up, which is let's not pick any of the pre-recorded loops. Let's record some of our own. So I'm going to go to this new one, and we'll see a completely blank screen. It's not very clear to see yet. And we're going to add the cells. So it looks completely black because you can't really see the variation. So I'm going to go to this first cell, tap on that, and add an instrument. Okay, so let's start with that idea of simplicity. An easy instrument to play would be something like the drum. Okay, so I'm going to tap the drummer, and whatever I play now is going to go into that cell. We've got hundreds of drummers to choose from. Actually, hundreds is a bit of an exaggeration. But we've got Logan, who's apparently into hitting things hard, and there's Anders, who likes heavy riffing rock bands. I'm going to plagiarise already. That's okay. It's okay. Magnus, he's into electro house. Leah embraces a lean, minimal production style. Well, I'd like to hear her. And she's a woman. That's fantastic. That's what we want to see. More women, females in music technology, because they're just as good as the blokes. Right, so it looks complicated, but don't worry. It's so easy. We are going to make this the first beat very, very simple. So what we do is there's a grid here. You can't see the word simple, but it actually does say simple on the left. So if I move this yellow button across to the left, I'm going to have a simple beat. So let's press play. Let's turn even simpler. Let's take a few things out. Now, even by that playing, I've just recorded it in the top cell in the left-hand corner that's flashing. So what I'm going to do now is copy that and then make it a little bit more exciting. all I do is tap on it, copy, go to the next cell, paste. So at the moment, they're exactly the same. I've got 2 cells at the top. Now I get to add a few more fills, make it a bit more complex by pushing it over to the right-hand side. Can you hear the difference? It's subtle, but that's what I want. So this is the first one. You can see it going round and play. And I want to just tap it before, so it's a perfect transition. Let's do that again. Stop it, copy, paste. I've now got 3. So that third one, let's go really complex. Let's add some fills, put these all to the right. Okay, so within seconds, I started off with a very simple beat, which might work really nicely in an introduction. Then, perhaps we could talk about the first verse. The beat needs to come up a bit, and then we have a break. We have some sort of idea here. The beat comes down. But can you see how simple it is to actually add different parts that you're creating very, very simply with these tools that might look alien at first, but actually you can imagine kids would just explore, play until they get the hang of this. And with simple introductions, video tutorials, you can just say, right, stop, let's do our first beat, keep everything on the left-hand side, the simple area, no fills, no kicks and snares, nice simple beat. All of this is done by the video, so really all you have to do is press play and pause. And what I would think is really important is the teacher actually sits in with the class and then does that exercise. Because this is CPD in the classroom, which it's difficult to get out of schools these days and it's expensive. So I think, well, why not actually learn with the kids in the classroom?